After the huge success of Telltale's The Walking Dead, everyone wanted to see more from the series in video games, but perhaps making it a boring, broken mess of a first-person shooter wasn't the way to go with The Walking Dead survival instinct.
If you told me about it, I'd call you a liar.
Unlike Telltale's The Walking Dead, which was based on the comics, Survival Instinct is instead based on the AMC TV series. Set as a prequel, you play as Daryl Dixon out to find his brother Merle in Georgia and travel to the evacuation point in Atlanta at the start of the zombie apocalypse. What starts out promisingly enough with the death of Daryl's father never reaches the traumatic emotional side which has made the Walking Dead series so memorable. Apart from the rather brief appearance of Merle Dixon, all the side characters are completely disposable and all in all rather forgettable.
Yep. Look forward to getting off this roof.
You see, during the campaign you'll come across other survivors that need your help in some way, whether it be by collecting food supplies or something as mundane as finding batteries. They're essentially fetch quests to lengthen the missions and they are entirely optional, but you're rewarded by them joining your group, which in turn you can send out to get supplies, but it's all done via menus and text. Disappointingly, they never actually join you on your individual missions, and instead just lifelessly stand at the car awaiting instructions. There's no tension, no hard decision making, and you can dispose of them with no fuss, ignoring everything that's made The Walking Dead so appealing.
What do you say we keep this transaction just between us?
If there is one positive about the characters, it's at least the voice acting is pretty solid, but it's not exactly helped thanks to the dull dialogue and repetitive soundbites.
Oh man, I needed that.
Dull and repetitive also accurately describes the main meat of the gameplay in Survival Instinct. The weapon that you're first introduced to is a knife, and you're taught to either sneak by the zombies or get up behind to insta-kill them. This is great in theory, but becomes almost impossible to tackle multiple zombies at once, and you'll find running past the mind-numbingly dumb AI a lot more efficient. I know that there's zombies, but being able to jump on top of a car and just easily slash away at them out of harm's way takes away all the menace and fear of the walkers. You do also find guns lying around that not only help take down the walkers quicker, but actually feel great to use. The problem is that the game doesn't want you to use these guns. The loud noises actually attract more zombies, resulting in plenty of enemy respawns. Again, great in theory, but when melee weapons are useless against greater numbers, not to mention ridiculously monotonous, shotguns and the like are the only option to postpone the inevitable. Yet despite all of that, there is some fun to be had with this juggling act between melee combat and firearms. There's actually a nice sense of progression. Not that there's any leveling up or anything, but there is a level of satisfaction in finding a new item to take down the walkers more efficiently. Even Daryl's trademark crossbow makes an appearance, which is a nice nod to the show. Granted, it isn't available until much further into the game, but it makes sense being as overpowered as it is. And on top of that, once you've beaten the campaign, you have the option to restart with the crossbow from the off, which for a game without any co-op or disappointingly any multiplayer features at all, actually has a decent amount of replay value. As well as restarting with better weapons and a derivative collectibles, there's also branching paths that entail completely different areas and missions. They ultimately add nothing extra to the story, but there's definitely an incentive to double the 6-hour campaign just to see the other half of the game. When you do travel, you're also given the option to take different routes to your destination. The highways save fuel but have a higher chance of your car breaking down, whereas the back roads have the opposite effect, but also give you the option to scavenge small towns for more fuel, ammo and food. Yet again, a great idea, but these small towns repeat to the point of annoyance, not to mention how ridiculous it is at how many jerry cans are left lying in the middle of the road, as well as the frustratingly long load times you have to endure between each of these areas.
Right, good deal. Open the Ginny cage.
Oh, and in case you haven't noticed yet, the game looks like arse. Stiff animations, frequent pop-in, enemies clipping through walls, blurry textures and repeated character models. This really doesn't look like a game from 2013, although the lighting ironically does look pretty good in dark rooms. And from what I can tell, it's like that across all systems, not just the Wii U. In fact, the Wii U may even have the best version, if only because of the gamepad's ability to easily manage your inventory. Otherwise you'll be painfully cycling through your weapons with a singular button. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct does have some interesting ideas, but despite its replayability, it's marred by repetitive combat, out-of-date visuals, and forgettable characters that fail to capture the essence of the show.
Sorry, brother.